Live. Good evening, and welcome to the Bold Woman Conversations, the Bold Woman Convos, actually. This is going to be an amazing time. Get ready, bold women. We're about to have one hell of a bold, well, not one hell, one heaven of a bold woman conversation. Okay, so my name is Victoria. I host, your humble host. Okay, today we are going to be having an amazing time. The last edition, or rather, the last episode of the Bold Woman Combos, we talked about, how to, having a bold reset. Okay, and we had a guest in the house, Philomena Egbunoje, and she talked about how she woke up one day realizing that she's 35 and she just had her third child, and all she could boast of was having a husband and children. And she knew that that's not the life that she wanted, right? So she decided that she was going to go ahead, reset her life, take back her life, and begin to live audaciously. And, that story was really amazing. And we had, quite, a lot of, it was just really liberating and transformational, right? So if you missed that episode, well, you didn't actually miss it because the replay is on Spotify and it's on YouTube right here. So all you need to do is to just go to the playlist on my YouTube channel, the Bold Woman Convos, and just get yourself, updated with that particular episode. Now, this episode of the Bold Woman Convos, hmm, hmm, we are talking marriage, motherhood, assignment. You see, for those of you who don't know, I'm a woman on a mission to raise bold, loud, and visible women. My assignment is to help other women submit their assignments, okay? So I'm all about women being visible. I'm all about them being loud, being bold about, their assignments, their mandates, their calling, and actually showing up there. For me, visibility is not about going viral, having thousands of followers. It's about knowing your assignment and actually showing up there. Be visible for the one who sent you, and be visible for the people he has sent you to. Okay, so it's not about cocooning yourself in your comfort zone and saying, "Oh, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want spotlight on me, I don't want them to say, I don't think I have this." No, it's about understanding that God has given you an assignment, and you better show up whether you feel good about it or not, because he feels good about you. So it's not about how you feel, it's not about your emotions, it's not about you. It is about him who has sent you. Okay, now we are living in a world that is quite chaotic, especially when it comes to women matters, marriage, motherhood. A lot is going on out there. See, there are women who have gotten married, had children, and suddenly that is all they are, mothers and wives, which actually in and of itself is not a bad thing if you feel like that is just the only area that you believe God has called you to show up. But I kid you not when I tell you that even before you became a mother and a wife, you're already a whole human being, complete in the eyes of God. Motherhood and being a wife does not complete you. Okay, it's all part of the journey. So whether you actually get married and have children or not, you are someone, a God's creation with a purpose. You have a reason for being here. But some women, not see, because of society, traditions, culture, and all of that, and of course religious, stuff, right? Women have been made to think and believe that the entirety of their lives falls and rises on the altar of marriage and motherhood. So anything outside of that, anything outside of marriage and motherhood, suddenly, hi, okay, I see my husband right there. Okay, so anything outside of that, it doesn't, it can't work. So women think that, now that they're married and they are wives, their wives, their mothers, they can't do anything else. Okay, and then others don't know. They want to, but they don't know how to actually. I just want to make sure that I'm not keeping my guest waiting. Okay. All right. So others don't know how to actually marry both worlds, being a mother, being a wife, and actually being a woman with assignments and actually showing up there. So today we are going to be having that conversation, because can a woman really have it all? Can she be a mother? Can she be a wife and still be a woman with an assignment, a woman with a mission? Can she be ambitious? Can she have a career? Can she be purposeful outside of marriage and motherhood? Or is it just a delusion? Okay, other women who seem to be doing it, are they faking it? Are they lying to us? Okay, I mean, I don't want to just use me as an example. I really want to know what's going on out there. These are questions that keep a lot of women, you know, they keep them awake at night. Some women are married to amazing men, but these amazing men don't see them beyond the roles of mother and wife. So it's a problem. They can't. They just they don't know what to do. And there are some women who really want to take back their life, even though they are now mothers and wives. They want to get back into the game of who they really are, aside from motherhood and wifehood, but they don't know how to marry both worlds together. And that's the reason why on today's episode of the Bold Woman Convo, I am coming in with someone who I believe has enough experience, has enough skill, has enough knowledge, and is equipped by God, because y'all know that I don't joke with my Jesus, okay? Okay, he's the foundation of everything that we do here, who is also equipped by God with the knowledge and wisdom to actually help couples, help women. Okay, she's a mother, she's a wife, and she is building a thriving and successful career. So probably the answer to can a woman really have it all is yes. But then the next question will be or rather, how exactly should she do it? Okay, how can she have it all for real? How can she have it all? So please confirm that you can hear me, because today I'm trying out this mic with the live with the YouTube live. Okay, so confirm that you can hear me and that you can hear me clearly, please. That would really mean a lot. Okay, confirm that you can hear me and that you can hear me clearly. Just type that in the comment section. Okay, my guest is going to be joining us real soon. Okay, so type that in the comment section that you can hear me. Okay. Okay. Yes, I'm yet to. You can hear me. This one that I've not seen anything yet. I hope you can hear me. Oh, I hope you can hear me. Okay. 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 I'm just. Okay. My guest is in, but I can't find. Yo, what's going on? Okay. All right. So I'm just okay. So Fejiro, I'm just going to send you the invite link again. Um okay. So how do I okay, add 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 okay. All right. All right. So my guest is coming in right now. So, like I said, my guest is an emotional intelligence and marriage coach. Okay, all right. So we have our guest in the house. Hello, ma'am. How you doing?
Well, thank you. Please let me know if you can
Okay, all
hear
right.
me.
So I can hear you. I can hear you. I can't
And
hear
you can't hear me.
you.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. I can hear you. I can't hear you.
Can anyone in the chat hear me?
It's okay. Can you speak again? Let me see if I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? We can hear both of you.
Okay,
Oh, they can hear
so something
us.
is wrong somewhere.
But you can't hear
Let me
me.
confirm. Maybe is it just me?
Maybe your mic.
Okay, it says I can
Check.
hear both of you. So I think I'm the think it's me now. I think I have to disconnect my mic.
Maybe. Try that. Let's see. Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Victoria, can you hear me now?
Okay, so I just disconnected my mic. Can everyone hear me now? And can you hear me, Mrs. Fejiro?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Hmm. Something is up somewhere. Oh, somebody help me. Jesus help me. I can't hear you, Fejiro, to be very honest. I can hear you from my
Wow.
end.
And I can hear you loudly.
I can hear you from my end. I don't know what's going on.
Everybody else can hear you.
Woohoo! Hallelujah! Praise the Lord! No, 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 no. This is not happening today. uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Evening, everyone.
Okay. Okay,
You
we're
can hear
back,
me now.
but uh, uh, what's going
Ma'am,
on?
can you hear me at all?
Mm. Okay, let's see. Get get working.
Mm,
I didn't know. I don't think I
this week,
muted her. No, I didn't. I didn't mute her. I didn't.
nice and sweet in me.
Okay, it's very
Baby,
faint. I can. I know
you can hear
you're
me.
saying something, but it's very faint. It's very faint. Others can hear you. I don't know what's going on with me with my side. I'm so sorry about this. I don't know what's
No,
going on
it's
with my
okay.
part of it. I don't know.
You said you can hear me, but it's faint. Is that what you're saying?
I can make out your voice. I just don't know why I can't hear you out loud with my speaker.
Something is probably tripping off.
Oh, okay.
I heard myself
I can
now.
hear you. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, great.
I can hear you now. Oh, praise God. Okay. All right. All right.
Very
Thank
cool.
you. Thank you for waiting. Thank you so much for that.
Sure. You're
Okay. All
welcome.
right. Thank you so much, ma'am. So my guest is Fejiro Adaka. Ma, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Is it Adaka or Adaka? Sorry.
Daka, it's fine.
Adaka. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So, Fejiro Adaka is an emotional intelligence and marriage coach. Now, ma'am, the very first time I actually came across you, I think that was on Instagram. That was years back. I think that
Mm-hmm.
was when I just had was it my first child, thereabout. I don't know exactly, but I came across you on Instagram, and somehow I found my way into your Sparkling Wives community, right?
Yeah.
And ooh, and when I got in there, and I started, listening to your voice notes, and the content is shared. I was like, okay, because I've heard a lot about marriage, and honestly, I
Yes.
was tired of some of the narratives. But hearing what you say and how you're saying it, it was quite refreshing, right? Normally, I would
Mm.
just back out of such groups, but somehow I have stayed over the years, right? I've stayed, and
Mm-hmm.
so far so good. Most of the things that you've said that I have implemented, it's worked. They've worked for me, right? They've worked for me. So when this particular topic came in, I knew that the one person I could reach out to that I know that would have the experience and knowledge to talk about this topic It's you. And when you said yes, I was really grateful. So thank you so much. Really. Thank you.
You're
All right. So
welcome.
I'm just going to let you to go ahead and introduce yourself the way you feel most comfortable introducing yourself. And then we go into the conversation proper. Ready? All right.
So before I introduce myself, I really want to say well done, Victoria. Watched what you've been doing over the years, and I must say it's very impressive. There's so many women who are lost out there, and your
Mm,
resilience, your consistency, right, is
mm.
worthy of admiration. So well done. And it was a
Thank
very easy
you.
yes because hey, but you're doing the work. So I'm so glad to be here and thank you for having me. And good evening, everybody. I see all the
Mm.
comments. Philip, Properties Doctor, thank you guys for joining in and taking out time from your weekend jai to be here. My name is Fejiro Adaka, and I like to introduce myself as the lighthouse, meaning that every encounter with me gives you clarity on whatever journey you're in. And
Mm,
maybe how that name came about, we would get into that somewhere along the conversation. I don't know. But that's the summary of who I am beyond being a wife, a mom, an intentional being, follower of Christ, a chartered accountant, an emotional intelligence. Beyond all of that, that's the summary of me. In this season of my life, I am intentional about helping people to design the life that they are proud of, to design a life that is meaningful and flourish. But one of
mm, 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 Okay. So life strategist, emotional intelligence, and marriage coach. And while I was doing a study on you, I realized you're actually is okay. So I've been trying to get the right pronunciation for that. Certified neuro something something. Please, could you? Please, could you? Okay. Someone is saying you should please be more audible. Okay, like you need to project your voice. Okay.
all audible, could it be my earpiece? Do I remove it?
Okay.
Let's
Someone is
see.
also saying they can't hear you speak. Okay.
So let me
So you should
let
be
me let
more
me take this out.
audible.
Let's see.
Okay.
Is this better?
Okay, I think it's better. If it's better, you guys should drop it in the comment section.
Okay,
Okay.
let me know if it's better.
Okay.
You can hear me
Okay, yeah,
now.
yeah. Yeah, they can hear you now. Yeah, yes, yes.
Oh,
Okay.
great. Okay.
All right.
But you are now lower though for me. But let's go ahead.
Okay. All right. I'll speak up. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay.
So that neuro something, yeah, the what was that about?
So neuro linguistic programming, right, is an aspect of, let me say, psychology of study of the human mind and how we think. So
Mm,
basically, it's understanding how the mind is programmed and using
mm,
language. That's where the linguistic comes in. So using language to reprogram how we think, how we
mm,
relate, and how we act. It sounds
mm,
very simple, but it's deep and it's the core of everything that I do, right? So,
mm,
human beings, we have grown in a certain way over the years. And for you to reprogram your mind, rewire your mind, shift your mindset, you must understand how people think. So, neuro linguistic is simply taking advantage of the body, the mind, what we see, what we hear, observing all of that, and then using language to communicate, to relate, and then reprogram life. That's like the
mm.
summary so that I don't get into plenty scientific conversations.
Okay, it makes better sense now.
Yeah.
And in study of this, I just want to know more about you, right? So that the audience will get a context when we begin to talk about this, the main topic. This neuro linguistic stuff, does it in any way impact, make an impact or sort of spice up what you do as a coach, as a marriage counselor and emotional intelligence coach? Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one of the strongest foundations of what I do. So
Mm.
typically, marriage counseling that I've known it to be is a lot of times telling people what to do. So let's say in the
Mm.
African, culture, for example, a man and a woman comes, and we already know wife submits, husbands love. And so when people come and then they
Yeah, I can
express
hear
their
you.
challenges, the typical response is, oh, okay, but the Bible says submit. We know the Bible says love. Okay, so how can we communicate better? How can we? But with NLP, it allows me to dig deeper into the real issues that are happening. Case in
Mm.
point, somebody is always raising a voice during a disagreement. I, for example, had that challenge when I just got married. Because of how I've grown, I'm like the Ada in my house. I have younger ones, and then my mom
Oh,
raised her voice a lot just to
I
communicate
get that.
certain points to me. And so naturally, when
Mm.
there's a disagreement or something is not going my way, I unconsciously raise my voice. Now, mumu me, quote and unquote, brought that behavior into marriage. And then so when my husband and I had a disagreement, I would raise my voice because you're not hearing me. You're not doing what
Mm.
I want you to do. And then I would raise my voice and raise my voice, and then he would be upset. He would walk away, and then that's conflict. And then later I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. But the question now that NLP would ask is, how come you didn't mean to, but you're doing it? How come you say sorry and then you keep going back to do the same thing that you said you don't want to do? Is because there is a pattern.
Mm.
Issues that are happening. So when one coach is saying, this is a communication issue, I'm seeing this a pattern, this childhood trauma, this unhealed trauma, and all of that stuff.
Mm. Mm. Honestly, I don't know how you guys are able to put all of this stuff together, honestly, but it makes a whole lot of sense. And now I see why women are actually getting the reviews that they are getting from me, because I do read the reviews from on your page, and now I see why they do that. And
Yeah.
this actually makes you stand out from other marriage coaches I have seen and I have heard. And why do
Mhm.
I say this? I say this because a lot of people come out and say they are marriage coaches because they have been in marriage for a while, and they feel like, okay, they know what works, and they just come out. But for someone like you, what you're doing is you are not just coming out of, you're not just coming out here saying you're this because you've been in this, but you went ahead to even do more study to bargain more, knowledge and more understanding. And that's what makes you stand out, really.
Mhm.
And it makes your work so much more different from other
Mhm.
other coaches out there. So once
Yeah.
again, ma'am, I'm proud of your work, and I'm inspired by it. Maybe this is
Thank
my
you.
sign to go and get that extra certificate I've been thinking of getting.
Please do. I will love it.
Okay. All right. So now let's get into this discussion: marriage, motherhood, and assignments. And like I earlier said, I'm that woman who has an assignment to help other women who have assignments to actually show up for their assignments. I'm all about women showing up boldly in their areas of assignments. Okay. And I'm just going to kick off with a quick story. What Before I got married, I had this negative disposition towards marriage. Okay, I had this very negative, traumatic disposition towards family, marriage, and men. And I didn't want to be involved in it, right? I just wanted to have a thriving career, make money, live a rich baby girl life, and all of that. Not to get married, not to have children. I just wanted to go on with my life alone. But as God will have it, He had other plans, and He helped me overcome those fears, right? But one of the reasons why I actually had those fears was because of my career. I know I'm a very ambitious woman, right? And I have seen women go into marriage and then their careers die. You don't hear of them anymore. It's just there. And I won't lie. My mom is an example, right? when she got married, and this is a woman who got married having before she got married she was almost at the peak of her career, and then she got married. And I'm not saying, of course, I have sacrificed and everything is amazing, but honestly, I didn't want that life for myself. I believe I had so much, and marriage and motherhood to kill that. You get. So I wasn't really having a good example per se to even work with, right?
Mhm.
And then eventually I got married and I had my first child, and I battled with that fear for a very long while, right? And but by the special grace of God, God started teaching me that it wasn't as bad as I thought. I had listened so much to what others are saying and what I have seen so far, and then and it's looking like that's the reality, but it's not. So over time, God has been teaching me that I can still show up here, I can still do this, I can still do here, right? But I don't want to speak based off of my own experience. I want someone else to to say something about this, because I still see women struggle. I still see women who are not able to show up for their purpose. I see women who tie their entire lives around marriage and motherhood, right? They just believe that they can't be anything else, they can't do anything else. And I see you doing what you're doing, still a mother, still a wife, right? So I feel like there's no other person who can actually say something on this, you know, better than you. So first thing first, I'm going to ask is, can a woman actually have it all? Can she be a mother? Can she be a wife? Can she can she still show up for assignments aside from motherhood, from wifehood? Can she have it all, or are we just faking it or something? Do you really believe that women can have it all?
So I think before I respond, I'm looking at people can still not hear me as clearly.
Oh, oh,
Um,
okay.
so
Oh,
I
I'm
I,
just
I want
seeing
to
that now.
speak a bit and be sure because I'm saying, can you still speak up? Was struggling to hear you.
Okay, okay.
Please, can
So
somebody in the
can you
comments
guys hear her now?
just let me know? Because I was thinking I'm using my earbuds to make it better, but no.
Okay. Is it better now?
So I'm gonna go ahead
Theodora,
and then I'm gonna go
Philomena.
ahead and wait if they
Yes,
can hear
please.
me clearer. I'll just project a bit
Yeah.
more.
Okay. All right. Go
So,
ahead.
first thing, can a woman have it all? My first question would be, what is all to you as a woman?
Mm,
We all have different levels or depth of desire. We desire
mm,
marriage. What do you want? Regarding your career, what do you want? What is the extent to which you want to go? With regarding to your family life, your assignments, your ministry, what do you want? They said I'm still not loud. I'm confused. Let me try this again.
okay.
So someone should please tell me if this is better. I'm using trying to use my AirPods
Okay.
now.
Is it better now?
Yeah, but
Pamela, let
I'm
me know
still
if
gonna
it's
go ahead.
better. Yeah,
I'm
please
still
go
gonna go
ahead.
ahead while speaking. That I'm speaking to people who can hear me. If not, it's really just gonna be a waste. So, as I was saying, first of all, you want to determine what that all is to you. Can a woman have it all? What is that all? Your guest voice
All
is
right.
quite faint.
Someone
Somebody
said
said
yes.
yes. You guys are confusing me. Help me with this voice of mine,
Someone said
right?
yes. So
Now,
that's the thing now. Please go
okay,
on,
all
ma'am.
right, yes.
Continue.
Let's go ahead. So, can a woman have it all? I personally would like to say that a woman must first understand that your life is in seasons. Your life is in seasons. So when I work with women, I tell them, for me, when you get married, the first 7 years is quote and unquote not 100% your own. And I'm speaking based on experience, and I'm speaking based on engagement conversations with my clients. And I'm going to be very practical in my conversations today. I'm not bringing any big grammar or big certification English. I'm just going to
Please.
talk to us sister to sister.
Mm,
When a woman gets married, a few people would say, okay, I'm waiting for 1 year, I want to bond. Some people say, oh, I'm waiting for 6 months. I've had cases of mentees or people who I worked with, they didn't plan to resign, but the pregnancy was just too stressful, and then they had to just quit for this season and stay at home. When the baby comes, the next thing we hear is by the time she's trying to heal, and just regain herself back, in just 2 years, we're hearing baby number two.
mm,
And then before you know it, it is 4 years in, and then she has two kids.
mm,
And then, of course,
mm,
the last baby probably needs. I tell people that your second baby or the last one, whatever, needs to get to about 4, 5 years before you can truly say you want to really, really flex. You tell the child,
mm,
sit down, they can sit down. Do this, they can do this. About five
mm. And they
years.
can
That's my
talk. Yeah.
observation. And they can talk. Now, in that season, you may want to take certifications. For some women, it's easy for them. Again, because our threshold is different, our capacity is different. What we have submitted to over the years, this is when it begins to reflect. So if you are a person who has not committed yourself to personal development, who has not been intentional about life, it may begin to reveal itself in this season because it might not be like too much. I've worked with many women who came and said, Mrs. Focus, I'm losing myself. I got married and my life is falling apart. We prepare at different level, we grow at different level. So somebody else might have more, intrinsic motivation. They can work, they can do, they can go. Some other persons like, I beg, I cannot come and kill myself for. Let me just take this journey gently. We're
Mm,
different. Some other person saying, oh, my husband, he's financially stable. And so he's supporting us financially. Some other person saying, my husband doesn't have so much. I have to work very hard, to also support him so that we can achieve our dreams. Our dynamics are different. And because of that, we make our decisions from this place. Now, if you decide that you want to start comparing yourself to somebody else, to say, after all, look at Fejiro. Fejiro is doing 9 to 5. She's running a ministry. She has a thriving business. She's showing up in the house. If you decide to start doing that, you will be shooting yourself because you don't know what I've been through. You don't know what have built me. You don't know my vision. You don't know my purpose. I have a friend who she stayed at home for I think about 10 years to nurture her children, to spend time with them because her husband was very busy traveling here and there. And then your core values. She's very family driven. She didn't want any nanny, any whatever person to stay with her child. She said, I will do it
mm,
myself. I will pay the price. Meanwhile, I have another client who is also very family driven. And she said, no nanny is going to come and stay with me. I don't want anybody staying with my children. I will do it. But this
mm,
my client, while doing that, while raising two children, one is just few months now and the other one is about 4 or 5 years, she's done her master's in that process. She's working a nine to
wow.
five. She's at home alone. So it's going to be unfair for me to start comparing this person and this other one because our journeys are different, our assignments are different. What we can take and carry per time is different. So, what I'll say to you, whatever
Mm, 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 mm,
women are blessed, their mother in law, bathing the kids, cooking in the house, look, very supportive. That person's journey is going to be different from me. I don't have a nanny, I don't have a help. When I say people don't believe, but we stopped having those years ago. The drama was becoming too much. But guess what? I have a very supportive husband, and I've learned how to build supportive relationships around me, people that I can trust with my children in cases when I want to go somewhere. These forms of
mm,
support is what allows me to do the things that I do and show up the way that I show up.
mm, mm.
Because this question, Victoria, to be very honest, it puts pressure on a lot of women. Take, for instance, somebody who's new in Lagos. She moved to Lagos because she got married. She's probably been based in Asaba. And then she moved to Lagos. She's still just trying to observe her environment, make new friends in church, probably get a new job or make new friends at work or even build a business. Is doing so many things at many times. It might be a lot. I'm responding this way just to also let that woman know that give yourself grace and don't be pressured. But at the same time, I said, yes, you can have it all so that you know that when you decide that you want to have it all, you can build capacity for it because the grace is available. The grace is available and you can build capacity for it. You can build the resources. You can nurture it. You can be that intentional to get it.
Yes, because you can build capacity for it. It is doable if you put your mind to it. And also, you should also give yourself grace as well. Do not put yourself under undue pressure to have it all and then lose yourself or lose what matters in the process. This means a lot because when I when I put to bed my first child, I because I am this type of woman that always wants to be on the move, right? I'm always on the move. I'm on the fast
Yeah.
lane. I'm not so good at. In fact, one thing God is teaching me in this season is the art of waiting. I don't like being idle. I don't like sitting doing nothing. It's not it's just the way, when people say the way I'm wired or something. It's just I can't I
Mm.
hardly just sit back and just watch things. You get. It's even now that I'm learning
Mhm.
to rest, learning to breathe, learning to just enjoy quiet seasons and all of that. And I believe that's God just teaching me some things. But left for me, I will always be on the move 247. So giving birth and having to do one thing every single day. It's like my life became a particular set of routine. You can wake up, bathe the
Mhm.
baby, change the diaper, feed the baby, bathe the baby. I'm like, what is all this? What's going on here? And then I become and then at the end of the day, I'm still trying to show up on Instagram. I'm still trying to work with clients. I'm still trying like I was like, no, 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 this is not what I signed up for, man. Come on. You
Mhm.
get, and then
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's see, maybe we should just slow down. Let's just focus on the baby stuff for now. And that was a struggle too, because I just don't know how to just, you know, stay quiet or not, especially when it comes to work, when it comes to career, right? I just don't know how to
Mhm.
not do anything. So I felt that, I'm not being productive. I felt that I felt that everyone was just going and leaving me behind.
Yeah.
I felt that
That
there was
thing.
nothing
That thing you
else.
just said.
She get
Yes. Everyone living
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
I felt like the world was just moving on without me. I felt so
Mhm.
down. I felt unproductive, even useless. I just felt useless to myself, right? And it took a while for me to get out of that. I won't even lie. Sometimes I still have to remind myself, even now, I still tell myself, hey, it's okay to just stop for now and just do
Just being.
just on this. So what would you
Yeah.
say to that type of situation, especially for a woman who is in that place right now, where she feels like the world is just moving on and all she's just doing is just focusing on a child, raising a baby, and stuff like that.
So you see that thing that you just said now, just focusing on a child. Let's zoom in there a bit because that is a whole lot of work. Getting
Mm,
pregnant,
mm,
carrying a baby for 9 whole months, almost a year, putting
mm,
birth to
mm,
that baby, giving birth to that child, breastfeeding that child, lots of sleepless nights dedicated
mm,
to ensuring that that baby is okay, is fine. In the midst of all of this, you are still existing, you're still living, you still have siblings, you still have parents and friends engage you. Your mind is still busy. For many women, in the midst of that, they're still running the home. They're still probably supporting the second child who's going to school. the one who's doing exam. You're still trying to build your spiritual life. You still want to wake up at night. You want to pray. You want to talk to
mm,
God. You want to hear
mm,
from God. In the midst of all
mm,
of this, you're still also trying to engage with your husband. You probably went to work
mm,
and came back. How did it go? You want to keep in touch so that you're not losing. In the midst of that, you're still trying to look at your body get back itself. You see, my
mm,
sister, you are doing a lot. And you must learn
mm.
how to pat yourself and say, well done. And if you're listening to me right now, it's okay to do it. To say, well done, Fitch. You're doing well.
Well done,
Well done.
Victoria. Well done.
Well done.
Well done.
Well done.
You're
You're
doing well.
doing well.
Mm,
You're doing very well. Now, in the midst of all of that, one of the things I tell people is if you don't have a clear path or direction for your life, you will fall along the way. Because whilst all of that is beautiful, you must not just allow your emotions to lead you. So your emotions are not always right. They're valid. They're telling you something. It just depends on how you respond to what it's saying to you. So let's use this client of mine who went on maternity leave and had 6 months, 5 or 6 months. And in that 6 months, she's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I want to do this. I want to finish this course. Yeah. And I'm like, calm down. And she will boss me. My time is running. It's already 1 month. I'm not doing anything. Oh my God. All the things you asked me to do, all the tax, I won't come back. Like, you just had a baby. Can you please calm down? Can you please relax? She's like, are you sure? I'm like, yes. And then after about 6 weeks, which is the usual time the doctors will give you to get back, I'm like, okay, so what's your plan? What's your life like now? Because we forget that life before giving birth is different from life after giving birth. Like now, what do you want to achieve? What's your goal? Because a woman without a goal is headed nowhere. You're just going to be turning around like Baba Chip. So what is the goal? How specific and realistic is it? Is it about what you want to do? So let's say, for example, you probably want to take a course or you have a business that you're running. Realistically, how many hours can you give to that business a day? Because there's a thin line, a very thin line between your body is doing a lot of work and you just gave birth to a child and they're now becoming lazy. There's a thin line.
mm,
There's a thin line there. So, what is my goal for this week? What do I want to do? Okay, based off how I've observed this child wakes up a certain time, or my children come from school a certain time. So this time is for children. This time, because sometimes when we say there's a lot, there's a lot. Victoria, the lot is that they spend 3 hours doom scrolling on social media. Sometimes you say, let me just relax. Let me just, and then you spend 2 hours, 30 minutes, and then you are tired. You are exhausted from doing nothing. So it's more about the intentionality. So there's a part to say, you're not in competition with anyone, so you're not missing out on anything. Whenever you come back to life, you will continue from there. They're not, it's just like leaving social media. You will not miss nothing. Whenever you come back, you continue. Whenever you wake up, they say, it's your morning. So the goal is don't don't build your life in competition with somebody else. It is me versus me. Every single day I wake up, it is Fejiro Adaka today versus Fejiro Adaka tomorrow. It is
mm,
Fejiro Adaka last week versus because the world can be clapping for me, but me, I know that me and my vision that I wrote in my book have not gone anywhere.
mhm,
I
mhm,
know.
mhm, mhm,
I've not gone anywhere. So it is
mm,
me versus my assignment, me versus what God has told me He wants me to do on planet Earth, me versus the conversations I have had with my coach. This is the plan. How do I go? Me versus the meeting. Me and my husband have agreed that this year, this is how we are going. It is me versus those, not me versus the world, not me versus Nkechi because we went to school together, we graduated together. She's here. Why am I here?
mm,
Nope.
mm, mm,
So if you are that woman, calm down, take it easy, and go back to the drawing board. What is the plan? If you don't have a plan, you are you are already there's already a red flag there. What's the plan?
mm,
What do you want?
mm,
Because it is from that plan you now begin to work. Your daily decisions is based off where you are going to. You don't have to execute all of it at once, but it's a journey. You're giving yourself grace and You're consistently committing yourself to growth, because the mind that
mm,
conceived the assignment is not the same mind that will execute it. The mind that will execute it is
mm,
not the same mind that will do a new version. The woman that got married, not the woman that will sustain the marriage. The woman that gave birth is not the woman that will grow the child. There has to be constant
mm,
evolution, transformation, and growth. So be easy on yourself, but be hard on yourself, if it makes sense.
mm, mm, mm. So, for women who are actually very, um, I believe that this question also comes up. Like, what is it okay for a woman not to have any ambitions outside of marriage and motherhood? Is it okay? Like, is it all right for a woman to just say, you know what, I don't, I just want to be a mother. I just want to be a wife. I'm not really all this career stuff. I don't believe I have any other purpose or anything like that I want to pursue apart from just be a mom, be a wife. Is that also okay? Is that true?
The thing is that the manufacturer of a product always has a purpose.
Mm,
Anybody who manufactures anything has a purpose. And God, being your manufacturer, has a purpose for you. Let's think about it this way. If you say, okay, I'm okay being just a mom, those children are going to grow. 18 years, well, past 21 years, they're running their life. They're doing their thing. They're finding themselves. They're doing other stuff. What will you be doing? There's
mm,
nobody on earth without a purpose. Nobody on earth without a
mm,
purpose, without an assignment. Nobody,
mm,
nobody, nobody.
mm,
And so sometimes when people say these things, sometimes it is from how we've been programmed. You know, those conversations when a girl is growing up, you say you're going to be behaving in your husband's house. This your behavior will
ah,
not thrive in marriage, or something, something, something marriage. Unconsciously, many women have
mm,
been programmed that the height, the peak of life is marriage. And so
mm,
when they
mm,
get there, they get married, they have a child, they feel like they have arrived. That's
mm,
the end of the journey. Nothing else matters. Let's just live
mm,
every day as it comes. But many of them, because I
mm,
also speak with elderly women, many of them grow up, get to their 40s and their 50s. I speak with women in that category, and they realize that they should have done better.
mm,
They should have
mm,
committed to something else. So anything that you think that you are, sis, you are so much more than it. What you're doing with your family is great work. I must commend you. What you're doing with your husband is great work. I must commend you. What you're doing with your
mm,
children,
mm,
oh, God is so pleased with you. It's great work. But I can tell you, there's so much more. To be honest with you, the things that I do now, I never thought that I could do it. The journey that I've been through in life, the pain, the experiences has opened me up to deeper levels of me that I never knew existed. Sometimes that part of you comes when you have gone through pain, or it comes in pain. You know that passage of the Bible that says, all things are working together for my good.
for your
I've
good. Yeah.
learned how to hold on to that scripture in a different way, such that in the good times or in the bad times, I'm asking God, what is there for me to learn in this season? And I can tell you, different levels of pain, different seasons that I have gone through has opened me up. Now, guess what? Because I am now seeing that, oh my God, is this me? I didn't know that I could be this person. I am now
Mm,
curious to say, Father, I want to live my time. Teach me to number my days. What is that part of me I have not yet discovered, and I must discover and use to impact people before I leave this earth? Because I want to die empty.
mm,
I want to die empty. I want to die empty. I want to touch lives. The blessings that God
mm,
has given to me, great for my children, but nothing spoil if I touch other people.
mhm,
There's no harm
mhm,
in that.
mhm,
And so why am I
mm,
limiting it to the ends of the earth? He says you are the light
mm,
of the world.
mm,
Light, light. When he puts you as a light, you are to shine bright. You are like your father. Now think about your father. Does he only give you air? Only you know. Everybody, all of us were enjoying it. Why do you want to hold on to that solution to
mm,
yourself and to your
mm,
children alone when the world can enjoy it? Think about it. That's a
mm.
good place to cellar. Think about it.
And thing that is always very common, talk about balance, right? Balance, balance, balance. Okay, if you're going to do this, there has to be, they'll just say that there has to be a balance to everything. Right now,
Mm.
for a woman who is a mother, a wife, and who is also trying to build a career, or pursue purpose outside of marriage and motherhood, is balance something that is real for such a woman, or um, is it something that we just say just to feel good? Is there anything, can there really be a balance to these things, to the way? Can there really be a balance to it?
So when I hear balance,
Mm, mm, mm,
when you look at the different parts of my life, I've thought about this a lot of times many years ago, and I really give equal attention, equal presence, and I really give equal energy to the different aspects of my life, to my spiritual life, to my personal development, to my career, to my parenting, to my marriage, to my relationships. It's impossible. There is nothing like balance. What you want to pursue is alignment,
mm,
integration, knowing the
mm.
seasons of your
Alignment,
life,
integration.
knowing what season you are in and what is demanded of you in that season. So, take for instance the woman who just had a baby. She would not be sleeping at night as much as other people are snoring. She might sleep two
Mm,
hours. And so during the day, it is expected because the body would want to rest. It is
rest.
expected that she may want to steal 3 hours extra
Mm,
during the day. During that day, her mates are working. The mates are giving 9 to 5. She has taken 3 hours to sleep already. How does she want to give equal? It is not possible. And so I would say, understand the seasons you're in. In some seasons of my life, my work, my business takes my attention. Like today has been a very busy day for me. It's been back to back to back. And after this, to back again. But guess what? Tomorrow is Saturday. I probably just have one meeting and I'm coming tomorrow. I heard tomorrow is boys' day. I'm coming to cruise with my boys and just spend time and that's it. Sunday is church. Ministry will take it. So if you're chasing balance, sis, you will chase to eternity because you're not going to get it. Your different
mm,
aspects of your life will demand time from you. So you now need to know how to portion it. You need to know how to carry your husband in certain seasons. You need to
mm.
create time for your friendships, your girlfriends, your babes. Hang out with them, spend time with them. You need to know when it's time to lock yourself in and spend time, spend more time studying your Bible, more time seeking God's face. You need to know when or more. I'm not sleeping
And
late. Oh, I'm gonna put
that
my
that
leg
you
in
see
water and stay awake.
that part now, I really want to talk about it quickly. This part where you have to, this part where you're trying to build your spiritual life, you know, I had a huge, and I still do feel that tension sometimes, because so when I had my baby, before I had my baby, I had just come to know Christ. You understand? So my body was burning with a lot of passion for him. I was always with my Bible. I was always, I just wanted to know more about Jesus. I mean, it was sweet in my body and all of that. And then I gave birth. And then I found out that as immediately I carry Bible, I sleep off because I'm already tired
Yeah.
from, and
Yeah.
I can't even begin to describe the guilt I feel when I wake up. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I slept through Bible study. I didn't do anything. I couldn't even pray. Sometimes I go 3 days, 4 days, 1 week without even having a chance to just sit back and actually just pray. And then of
Mm-hmm.
course I came back to my career again, and it's all of that. And how, as a woman that you are, and you also have, you're a Christian and you have this relationship with God, when you are counseling someone, who has this similar issue, what do you tell them? What would you advise them to do? How can a woman be able to pull everything together and still be able to maintain an intentional, consecrated spiritual life, without all the guilt and self shaming that comes with it, when you don't pray as much as you used to, read the Bible as much,
Yeah.
as you used to.
So I always say to people, the problem is not the problem again. And she was complaining. I usually don't always tell my clients what to do. I help them to find the answers to their problem because our solutions differ for seasons that we are in and who we are. And so I asked her a question. She said, "Oh, that praying has been a problem." I said, "Okay, tell me about your day." So when I wake up, I go to the children's room. I try to just do like 5 minutes to wake them up calmly. Then I go to the bathroom. Then I did the first one. It's okay. In that, as you're doing all of that, how many minutes has gone? She said, "Oh, maybe about 30 minutes." I said, "So in that season, what is your mouth doing?" "Oh, nothing. My mouth is just there." I said, "Okay. Is it possible to play worship and be worshiping God?" She said, "Of course." I said, "Okay, is it possible to be opening your mouth and be thanking your God while you're doing?" She said, "No, it's perfect." I said, "Is it possible?" She said, "Yes." And that was how she started. This is exactly also how my husband taught my sons how to pray because he's a very involved, present father. And so from when my children were young, as he's having their bath for them, while I'm in the kitchen preparing their food for school, they are praying. "Father, in the name of Jesus," say after me. "Father, from when you're young, all those 9 months, 1 year, that
Wow.
he's saying what he wants to say. Yes, he's saying it. And then he teaches them the Lord's Prayer and teaches them Psalm 91. Psalm 91, say after me every single day, every single day. So, in the same way, I had this conversation with her. And then a week later, she came, she said, "Mrs. Purpose, why have I not been doing this since? Because it's been so beautiful." I'm like, "Well, now you know." The problem is that it's how we see God sometimes. We see God as whether it's King Herod or Pharaoh. I don't know. The way you have a
Mm,
beautiful relationship with your child and you understand your child is the way we should have a relationship with God. God is kind, He's caring, He's understanding. It's more about God is not sitting down there counting how many hours did you pray with me. That is one of the mentalities that we have that makes us feel like we haven't done enough. There are seasons in life. The Bible says pray every day. Do you know that you can be consciously connecting with God even while you are working? You can be consciously connecting with God even while you're seated here. A simple Father, as we're starting this session, when you chatted me a few minutes for this session, I said we go in the name of Jesus. That's a prayer. God hears it. He's not going to wait for
mm,
"Paru da shate ya do kaso."
mm, mm,
But
mm,
we overcomplicate this relationship with God. We overcomplicate it. Another person was in our last year, we're discussing. She said, "I want to be studying more of my Bible." I said, "Okay, what time do you have?" She said, "I have to leave the house very early because of traffic and I have to get to work before 7:30." And so what does she do now? She listens to audio Bible on her way to work. She spends about 30, 45 minutes to and fro work and then she listens to audio Bible. So, what stops you from being in the kitchen and making your baby's food and listening to Apostle Selma play worship? You are worshiping. And then when you are done, it doesn't mean that you will not create that special time to sit calm somewhere and focus. But I'm saying you have to leverage planning your time intentionally. Because if you're waiting for 1, 2 hours or 3 hours, you might not get it. You must be true to yourself about the season that you are in. And again, it's not a competition. And the truth is, when we take time to study God's word and really read a lot,
Mm, mm,
be at that 2 a.m., I'm praying.
mm.
It's fine. And that's why it's good to also have a supportive partner. Because my husband too was covering us, was praying, and all of that.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That I see that sleeping up part really, it messed me up for a while. For a while, I felt so bad. I'll feel so guilty. But
Yeah.
I now see that I'm really learning. To be honest, I think before I gave my life to Christ, I did have quite a skewed perspective or perception about God. So coming into Christ, I felt like I needed to, like do too much, do a lot, to be there.
Nah, it's
So
not something I didn't
so
say.
becoming a mother and becoming so busy, just you know,
Mm.
it really took a toll on me. Yeah.
One of the things that also helped is I had a group of women that I was praying with, right? Because all of us are mothers and we're also experiencing the same thing. So my friend would come and say, "Oh, my prayer life they go down. No, come support me. I'm going to pray." We joined the group and then we started praying at a certain time every week, and it helped. So when you're also feeling that tired and then find somebody, it can be your husband. If your husband is not available, it can be a close friend. And that's why you should have your circle. That is what led to that Sparkling Wives community, things like this. Because we used to pray then and all of that. So that's what led to that. So have your circle, people who can hold your hand, people who can support you. Don't do life alone. Don't do life alone. Don't do life alone.
Okay. While you were talking, you mentioned a lot about your husband being a present father, being a supportive partner, and all of that. Now there is a question to ask there. Um. So say. Oh, okay. My light is gone. Okay. So say. So we have women. I have seen, let me just go straight to the question. So a woman she has an amazing husband, right? The husband is good in as much sense as possible, good. But her only issue is that, you know, the husband doesn't see her beyond the role of wife and mother, right? Or in all of his goodness, in all of his awesomeness and amazingness, if there's a word like that, he doesn't see he's the only thing he sees is a mother and a wife. He doesn't see a woman that has other purposes or other assignments, and but she does. She knows that she does, and she wants to pursue those things. But the husband just wants, just be a mother, be my wife. That's it. I don't want you to start pursuing this, pursuing that. What would you say a woman like this should do? How can she navigate that? Some women who have answered this question will say, go ahead and do what you want to do, which will go ahead and cause problems because then
Mhm.
and then some will say, well, it's your husband, it's your lord. You shall drop the whole thing and just focus on that side. So, what should in this scenario? What would you advise, or what would you say?
That's a very intelligent question. And there are many women. Why am I hearing myself? All of a sudden, I'm hearing myself repeat myself. Okay,
Okay.
let me try and ignore that second voice because I'm echoing to myself.
Okay.
I don't know why, but there are, unfortunately, there are many women in that space. I have personally worked with women in that, and nothing just happens. Nothing just happens. If your husband says, "I don't want you to work," I don't want you to do what
I don't
I'm
want you to
doing.
do it
Why?
anymore. Why?
Has it always been like
He
this?
always been like this.
If you were
If
working
you were
before
working
you got
before
married,
you got
what was the
married, what was
conversation
the
like? Because
conversation like?
sometimes we
Because sometimes
just go
we
straight to
just go
why
straight
should a
to
man be
why
like
should
that?
a man be like
There are
that?
some
There
people that
are
this
some
was their
people that this
agreement
was
before
their
they got
agreement
married.
before they got married.
But the woman comes
But the
in and then
woman
she now
comes
wants
in
to
and then she
paint
now
it
wants
as
to
though the
paint it
man
as
has
though the
changed,
man
and
has
she
changed
doesn't
and she
acknowledge
doesn't
the fact that this
acknowledge
was
the fact
what
that
we
this was
agreed.
what we agreed.
So my first
So
question
my
is
first
usually
question is
why?
usually why?
Why doesn't he
Why
want you to
doesn't he
work?
want you to work?
Sometimes when I've had couple
Couple
sessions,
sessions,
the man is there.
man is
When
there.
I ask him,
When I
his
ask him,
response is
his
different.
response is different.
It's you hear.
It's you here.
It's not like I don't
It's
want
not
her
like
to
I don't
work.
want
The
her
thing
to
is,
work.
I
The
don't
thing
know
is,
if
I
she
don't
can
know if she can
combine all of
combine
them
all of
together
them together.
because I am
Because I
usually
am
out of the
usually out of
house
the house.
and I really want
I
my
really
children
want
to
my
grow up in a
children to
stable.
grow
So
up in
I
a
don't.
stable. So I
So
don't.
sometimes
So
it's a case
sometimes
of
it's a
has
case of
she
has
even
she
shown
even shown that she has capacity to counter, not in the way that there is balance, in the way that there is alignment. So the first thing is, if you're a woman who's in that place, why? What's the reason? Can you really listen to his reason and understand the reason first? Because it's from a place of
you
understanding
can
that
then
you can then
respond and
respond
not
and not
react.
react.
Many women just
Many
want to
women
be. I'm
just
a
want to be,
woman.
I'm a
Come on,
woman,
decide.
come on,
Babe, I
decide.
never. I mean,
Never.
they're not
I
even
mean, they're not
hearing
even
what the
hearing
man is
what the man is
saying.
saying.
What are his
What are his
concerns? What are his
concerns? What are his
fears?
fears?
Why doesn't he
Why
want you
doesn't he
to do
want you
that
to
thing?
do that thing?
When you have answer
When you
to
have
that,
answer
it's
to that,
easier
it's
to then
easier to then
address that.
address that.
Now,
Now,
so when you have
so
answer to
when you
that, you
have
can
answer
then
to
have a
that, you can then have a
conversation and explain
conversation
to you
and
this is my
explain to you this is
plan.
my plan.
I navigated from a nine to
I
five
navigated
to
from a nine
being
to five
an
to
entrepreneur
being
or building my
an
business,
entrepreneur,
right?
or
And before I
right.
did,
And
I'm a
before
chartered
I did, I'm a
accountant. I
chartered
worked in telecoms
accountant.
for
I worked in
years
telecoms for
before I
years.
navigated into being a
I
coach and a
coach and a
consultant.
consultant.
Whilst I needed to do
Just
that
to do
transition,
that
I had to
transition,
discuss with
I
my
had to discuss
husband,
with my husband.
babe, this is where I
Hey,
feel
this is
like
where
I
I
am
feel
now. This
like
is where
I am
God is
now. This is where
leading
God is
me.
leading
And
me.
initially he was like,
He
no.
was like, no.
And then later it's like,
And
Cody,
then
come and
later
tell
it's
me
like, okay,
what's your
come and tell
plan.
me
And to
what's
be
your
honest,
plan.
when I showed him
And
my
to be
plan,
honest, when I
guess
showed you
what?
my plan,
Even
guess
though I
what?
thought I had a
Even though I
plan,
thought I had a
my
plan,
plan was nothing. I
my
didn't have a
plan
plan.
was nothing. I didn't have a plan.
And then he said, so can you
And then
see? It
he
doesn't,
said,
this thing
so
doesn't
can
look
this thing
solid.
doesn't
And
look
I went
solid.
back for
And I
one
went back
year,
for 1 year,
put a proper plan in place, and I
put a
came back
proper
saying, this
plan in
is what,
place.
and
This
he
is what.
said, let's do
And he
this.
said, let's do this.
Some other persons will say,
Some
he
other
said,
persons will
no, you
say,
are not
he
my
said,
Lord.
no,
You don't
you are
want me
not
to
my
grow.
Lord.
I'm
You
going
don't
to
want me
do
to
it.
grow.
And
I'm
then you
going
do
to
it
do
by
it. And
force.
you
You're
do it
just
by
going to be
force.
causing
You're just
problem
going to be
for
causing
yourself.
problems for yourself.
Wisdom is
Wisdom
profitable
is
to
profitable
direct.
to direct.
Emotional
Emotional
intelligence is
intelligence is
important in
important
any
in any
conversations. If I were
conversations.
you,
If I were
can
you,
we calm down?
can
Can
we
we have a
calm down?
conversation?
Can we
Can
have a
we
conversation? Can we
understand? And then
understand?
can you be
And then can you
flexible?
be flexible?
Sometimes you want to
Sometimes
go
you want to
this
go
way,
this way,
but there's a
but
way here
there's
that
a
not be
way here that
that
not
may
be
not be so
that
straight,
may
but
not
it
be so
will still
straight,
take
but
you
it
there.
will still take you there.
You may say, oh, I
You
want
may
to live
say,
in the
oh,
house
I
every
want to
day.
live
I
in
want
the
to do
house
this
every
thing.
day.
But there's a
I want
chance
to
that
do this
maybe
thing.
if you work
That
from home,
if you work from
you
home,
may still achieve that
you
same
may
thing.
still
Can you
achieve
be
that same thing.
flexible?
Can you
Can
be
you
flexible? Can you
compromise? Can you
compromise? Can you
discuss in a way that you
discuss
can
in a way that
align
you
your
can align
vision
your vision
together?
together?
I believe
I
that you
believe
will
that
get, and
you will get, and
sometimes
sometimes
patience also
patience
helps.
also helps.
What is grind,
What
grind,
is
grind, grind? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I mean, it doesn't
You see that your
you see that your softness, that your feminine energy, there's power there.
question is, do you know how to
You
use
know how
it?
to use it.
For many
For
men,
many
it
men,
is
it
also
is
how you
also
talk
how
to
you
them.
talk to them.
And nobody should
And
come and
nobody should
say,
come and
why must
say,
I talk to
why
them
must I
in a
talk to
soft
them
way?
in
You
a
are the
soft
one
way?
that
You
chose
are the
this
one that
man to
chose
be
this
your
man to be
husband.
your
You are the
husband.
one that chose that this is the
You are the
person I
one
want
that
to
chose
do
that this
life
person I want to
with.
do life with.
You are the one that fell
You are
in
the one
love.
that
So you
fell
have
in
to
love. So you
learn
have
how
to
to live with
learn
the
how to
person
live
that
with
you
the
have
person that
chosen.
you have chosen.
Don't fall into the trap
Don't
of
fall
wanting
into
to
the trap
compare
of wanting to
yourself to
compare yourself
Ruth's
to
husband,
Ruth's
to
husband,
Esther's husband.
to
Focus on
Esther's
your own
husband, your own
husband. Your
husband.
own case will
Your
be
own case
different
will
because
be
your
different
husband
because your
is
husband
different.
is
So
different.
honor that. And then, assignments are in seasons. There's difference between purpose and assignments. Assignments,
Mhm.
there is seasons. You can be facing one thing in this season, and you can be facing another one in another season. And then finally, pray. Prayer helped me because I went back to God. I said, God, this job that you say I should leave, I know it's you that is speaking. Please, can you also tell your son, because me, I don't want. And God answered. I was like, magic, let me just open book. I said, okay, let me do this. Let's go ahead.
Mm. Mm.
All this
Mm.
blah blah by force. You say you are a Christian, you're following God. I mean, this is a show for. I know that you are very strong on your faith, right? Rebellion against your husband is also rebellion against God. Oh.
Mm.
Mm. So wisdom is profitable to direct. There are different ways. If you've talked, you've tried, you feel like you've done all you can, he's not listening. Who does he listen to? Who can you speak to get maybe better, wisdom on how to speak to him that he will listen to? But it's not by fighting. It's not by I will do it. You can't do anything. You will destroy your home. Destroy your home. Wisdom is profitable to
So,
direct.
in essence, in essence, um, a woman is to make sure that she gets her husband's buy-in before she pursues whatever it is that she wants to pursue. I ask this because there are some people that are here to actually get clarity on that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yes, see, a lot is going on online right now. A lot of basketballs when it comes to marriage, when it comes to men,
Mm-hmm.
women, it's going on online right now, and people are getting different gist from. And people actually, there are people, women who actually want to have very successful marriages. They want to do it right. They want to get it right, right? But some are stuck in marriages that are truly frustrating their efforts. So,
Mm-hmm.
a case where a case where a woman has practically done almost everything that has been asked. Pray, do this, speak to
Mm-hmm.
somebody that knows him, respect him, be
Mm-hmm.
this, speak nice, do everything. And still we have a man who is hell bent on keeping her where she is, and not
Mm-hmm.
letting her fly as much as she's created to fly. So
Mm-hmm.
what I know we don't have the answers to everything, but in this case, what would a woman do that can help, right? That will not paint, that will not make, I mean, she doesn't want to destroy her home, but at the same time she knows that there's work to be done outside of marriage and motherhood. So how will she should she be able to put this together, make it work somehow?
I like that you said that there's no one straight answer for things like this. I'm not a fan of men dominating over women in the name of right. Every woman has a sense of purpose as much as the man has. And this conversation was a man that has an assignment. He also needs to align with his wife. It's vice versa,
Mm,
right? So, and then if the woman is saying, I don't think this is the right way, and then the man says it must be, the consequences will still be the same. If it's going to affect the home, it will affect the home. So, for this woman, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes we do, no, let me rephrase it this way. We do the best we can with what we have. Sometimes all you have done is only based on all you know.
mm,
Sometimes what you really need is higher wisdom. And that's where things like coaching come in.
mm.
Because sometimes you think that you have seen all the options, but you have not. You probably have not even scratched the surface.
The surface.
And you cannot think beyond the borders of your mind. You cannot deploy what you don't know.
Mm,
Many, many times people have come to and say, there's no solution. I've done everything. I've not done. And then 2 weeks into the coaching program, there's solution. And then I asked the man or the woman, so what happened here? It's you now. I said, it's not me. It's you. You did the work. I just helped you see what you were not seeing.
mm,
Many times there's
mm,
He doesn't want you. Let's say, for example, you want to be doing coaching or doing what you're doing, and he says, Victoria, you see this your YouTube, don't go live. And you're like, but I'm in the house. I've attended to the children. Children are sleeping. And he says, no, I don't want you to. But then they're sleeping on me. That's a different case. You see, that case is different. That person obviously wants to make you small and keep you down. And in that case, you escalate. Because God forbid, when these men do this, maybe sometimes I wonder, are you guys thinking? Because God forbid, if something happens to you, how would that woman thrive? So there are cases where we escalate, where we seek higher help. We get external intervention, someone who can cause a meeting to happen and then we address the matter. It varies for different people. Some people take themselves, husband and wife, they go for counseling and then they address it in therapy sessions. Some people go to their pastor because they both listen to their pastor. Some people go to their mentor because they listen to their mentor. Some people will call family meeting. There are different levels of escalation to different there's an underlying reason why. And so in that case, not a case where you start to abuse, you are stupid, you are wicked. That's not it. Something is making the person to respond the way they are responding. Your goal should be to understand the fundamental why. Because sometimes what he's saying is not the real reason. So am I saying the woman should just sit down there? Not necessarily. Sometimes it might just be that you need to be patient. I've been in those seasons, even in my marriage, when I feel like I should be doing certain things or I want my husband to do certain things. And it's like, no, and I've had to wait it out, and then eventually happens. So sometimes there's an element of patience that needs to come in. Sometimes you need to explain better so that he gets it. It's different parts. Do you get? It's different. It's not just one straight answer. It's different for different people based on where they are, who they are, what assignment it is, and the whole dynamics of their relationship. But in all of it, I would say you need to deploy emotional intelligence. Your heart needs to be open to hear from God so that He can lead you. And then ultimately, you must not lose yourself in that situation because you must remember that as a woman, you have an assignment, you have a calling, and then you have a purpose for life.
Wow, that's going to this is a healing for a lot of women right now. A lot of women who are listening to this right now, it's healing. And even if we don't have the exact answers to everything, but something here will definitely give you an idea of what to do. Um, okay, so I have just two. This was just popped into my head right now based off of some of the things you said, and I'll just ask those, right, and then yeah, we'll call it. So the first one is this: do you think that what's going on right now online, there is something trying to make husbands, just something trying to come against, put this sort of strife between men and women, especially in marriages? The reason why I ask this question is this. So in my marriage, I told myself that I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I'm a good mother to my children and a good wife and a godly one to my husband. And I'll try as much as possible to make sure that I work on myself and all of that. But I won't lie, you come online these days, hey, are you hear one wife is just gonna pop out and say, "Oh, this is what her man did to her," and then she puts it out in such a way that sometimes you read some of these things, and then suddenly you are beginning to look like at your husband or at your partner, like, okay, did you see what's going on? Or someone will come and say, "Oh, this is how my husband is, my wife is she's loving, she's this, she's kind," and then you look at your partner, you're like, "You're not doing like this." I would love something like this. I feel like there is just this subtle programming going on that is causing strife. It took the Holy Spirit was like, what is your problem? You have a good stuff going on. Your marriage or your husband doesn't have to be like every other person out there. You get so It took a while for me to like come out of that space. Sometimes you see some things that will make you look at your partner in a certain type of way. They've not done anything wrong to you, but just by someone else's experience, or so what a coach said, or what somebody said on the podcast, you begin to feel some type of way towards your spouse. So I feel like there is a subtle programming going on that is causing husbands or causing partners to hate themselves, or even causing men to hate women and women to hate men. I don't know. Have you seen a pattern like that? And what do you have to say?
We say to the women on this call, focus on what you have. I happen to be someone who experienced two sides of people. So I have clients
Social media is not real. It's not. There's no two way to say it. This whole strife between husbands and wives and men, it is not going to end. It is going to be till Jesus comes. So get on with it. Get used to it. First of all, it's not going to end. Things are going to fall with them or rich will get richer. Like that. So you need to know who you are, whose you are, where you're going. Focus on your lane.
Mm.
Where are you going? Most people sit down, they curate stuff, put it all there, and then you go and watch. Who's watching you? Who's learning from you? Victoria is here talking about bold woman conversation, telling you every day, show up online, talk about your solutions, show your gifts.
carry all your time. When those people talk, when I hear different stuff, one of them even say this. One of the reasons why I started showing up online years ago, when God started leading me, to do, I'm like, no, me, I'm shy. Oh. I can't talk about, I know, I used to be really shy. I can't talk about this thing online. Oh, And then one day I came online and I saw a lady, she had about almost 1,000 people live on Insta Live years ago, and she was talking rubbish. Ah,
Wow.
and God said to me, the girl, be shy. Why people are spoiling the nation? He said, be shy, keep being shy. Don't go out there and do what I've told you to do. So the people who are saying what they know, to be honest, it is what they know. They are speaking based on the level of wisdom that they have. And so you that you have
And so you that you have
deeper insights,
deeper insights,
live your life in a way that
live
somebody
your
else
life
can
in a
learn
way that
from you.
somebody else can learn
Take your mind off other people because there are no two people.
because there are no
The
two
husband
people.
out there that you
The
think, oh
husband
my
out there
God,
that you
she
think,
just
oh
gave birth
my
to a baby
God,
boy,
she just
and the
gave birth to a
husband bought
baby
a
boy,
brand
and
new
the
car.
husband bought a
He
brand
even
new
puts the
car.
red ribbon. See the car, they scream. That husband, that husband is not a perfect husband. That husband may be lacking in that area that you need the most. Your own husband might not
Your
have
own
bought you
husband
that
might not
car,
have brought you that car.
but your husband is doing
Your
something really
husband is
good
doing
that that person
something
is
really
not
good
doing.
that that
Never
person is not
forget it. When
doing.
I have
Never
sessions with my
forget it. When I
clients
have
one
sessions
on
with my
one, I
clients
tell
one
them,
on one, I
do you
tell them,
think that Mrs.
do
Sparkles
you think that
do
Mrs.
you think
Sparkles
that
is
people call me Mrs.
people
Sparkles as well, but let me use
call me Mrs.
Fejiro on
Sparkles
this
as
call.
well, but let me use Fejiro on school. People think that Fejiro is perfect.
Marriage
Feju's
doesn't have
marriage doesn't have
conflicts.
conflict.
People think that Fejiro's
People think
husband
that
is
Feju's
perfect.
husband is
No,
perfect.
we
No,
are not.
we are not.
What makes the difference
What
between
makes
the
the
kind of
difference between
marriage
the
that we
kind of
have
marriage
12
that
years
we
and
have 12
counting
years
now
and counting
is the
now is the
tools
tools
that we have learned
that we have
about.
learned
And so
about.
when situations
And so
show
when
up, we
situations show
deploy
up,
the
we
tools in
deploy the
our home.
tools in our
We
home.
understand that
We
we have a
understand that
vision.
we
We are
have a
going
vision. We are
somewhere.
going
We are not on the
somewhere.
same journey with
We are not
everybody
on the
else on
same
social
journey with
media.
social media.
When you come
When you
into my
come
house,
into
the
my
first
house,
thing
the
you
first
see is
thing you
our
see is our
family
family
vision
vision
statement,
statement,
our core
our core
values. We
values.
know
We
what
know
we
what we
stand for.
stand for.
We're raising
We're
our
raising
children
our
that
children
way.
that
And so
way.
when we see
And so
things
when we
on
see
social
things on
media,
social
I
media,
take it
I
sometimes.
take it
I
sometimes.
show my
I show my
children,
children
what do you think
what
about
do you
this
think about
behavior?
this
We'll
behavior.
discuss it. We'll go back and
We'll go
say,
back
this
and
is
say
how we
this is
behave
how
in
we
this
behave in
house.
this house.
We're not
We're not
comparing.
comparing.
You will only be, when
You
you're
only be when
comparing,
you're
it means that you
comparing,
want
it
to be
means that you
them or
want
you
to be
want to
them or
be
you want to be
photocopy.
photocopy.
When you know that you
You know
yourself,
that
you're
you
the
yourself,
original,
you're
what
the
do you
original.
focus on your own
Focus on your
and
own
think about
and
ways
think
that you
about
can
ways that you
better
can
what you
better
have.
what you have.
The areas where your marriage needs some form of intervention, how are you navigating that? Are you discussing it? What are you doing to be better? If anybody has listened to, one of the things I will always say is constantly enroll yourself into the school of your spouse, constantly grow your mind, constantly pour into yourself. Those people who I pity you, go for coaching, go and get help, go and expose your mind,
Mm,
read books, read to yourself.
mm, 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 mm,
That you need to do. Wake up, I'm like, God, there's just so much. Help me. There's so much to be done. I've not finished doing
mm,
those ones. Why am I comparing? Somebody else gave the wife and gave the husband $20,000. All well and good for you. I'm happy for you. I rejoice with you. If it is
mm,
$1,000 that my husband can give me, you are the best man on earth. And we
mhm,
stay like
mhm,
that. We are
mm, mm,
friends. We got different experience. There's no way my life is going to be like anybody else.
mm, mm. Wow. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. And finally, so we've been talking about marriage, purpose, marriage, motherhood, and assignments, and how a woman can be able to navigate all of that. So, in just a few sentences, right? Especially for those who are just coming in, um, um,
Mm,
in just a few sentences, let's wrap it up together. So, marriage,
mm,
motherhood, and assignments. Can a woman have it all?
mm.
And if yes, what is the one thing that she can do to be able to pull that together? Is it okay for a woman to be a mother and a wife and still be able to pursue a career and ambition? Is it okay for a woman to say, okay, I want to do this and I want to leave career ambition outside of it? If she's going to pull both sides together, how, what's the one thing that you advise she does? So let's just wrap it up in that way.
So for me, I would say this. Without you, there will be no marriage, there will be no motherhood, there will be no nothing.
Mm,
So it starts with you. So the first thing you want to give attention to is you. If you noticed at the beginning, I didn't start by introducing myself as I'm a mom of two, I'm married to, I didn't say all of that. When we take children, marriage, who are you?
mm,
Let me give you this assignment
mm,
I give to my client. Let me give it to you for free. Courtesy Victoria. You're blessed to get it today.
thank you, ma.
Go home,
Thank you.
sit down, take a notepad, open a page. My name is Fejiro Adaka. Write who you are. I don't want to
Mm,
hear I'm the righteousness of God. I'm the beloved child of God. Nothing. Don't write I'm a mom of two. I'm a mom of three. Don't write I'm an accountant. I'm a psychologist. I'm a doctor. Don't write any of that. Who are you? Let's start with that. Because it
mm,
is when you know who you are. It's an identity work. It is when you
mm.
know who you are, whose you
Good,
are,
good, good,
where
good.
you're
Mm,
going, that you can now effectively function as a mom, as a wife, and in your place of assignment. Because these three places would shake you, they will take from you, they will stretch you. You'll be triggered. You even ask yourself, who sent me or who sent me this work? You will. What would keep you going is the reminder of who you are, whose you are, and where
mm,
you are going. Can you have it all? Yes, you can have it all. Are you ready to have it all? Depends on you. Have you
mm,
built capacity to have it all? Is there balance? No. Is there
mm,
alignment? Yes. Can we live an integrated life? Yes. How can we do this? Commit yourself to personal development. Daily renew your mind. Commit yourself to grow. Grow, my dear woman, grow. Stop depending on anybody to come and save you. Nobody is coming to save you. Your children, they will grow up and they will pursue their own life. You will be alone. You will be bored. And you will have a meaningless life if you don't start now to do the work that needs to be done. Thank you for having me,
Wow.
Victoria. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You see that part where you said alignment over balance, alignment and integration. That one is enough healing for me. Wow. Thank you
Yeah,
so much, Ma. I'm
you're
grateful that
welcome.
you're here, and I definitely see why God, led me to reach out to you. That is, yeah, a breath of fresh air right now. You said things that it's not commonly said out there. I mean, everybody has a lot to say about women and how you should show up, how you should do this, how you should do that. But it takes someone who has really sat down to understand that what she's saying is not just based off of her own experiences, but based on what God has said concerning us. And that's really a breath of fresh air. Thank you so much. This conversation has been truly bold indeed, and we've been able to handle some, tackle some questions that keep women up at night. To be very honest, and I believe that women who have tuned in, who are listening, have gotten one or two stuff that they can take back to their lives and begin to implement. Okay, so I forgot to mention. Okay, I actually put up a question sticker, but nobody asked the that I believe that everything so far has been marinating. Thank you so much, Mrs. Fejiro, and I'm looking forward to more bold conversations. If you will have me, then I'll be open for that. Thank you so much, Ma. You just released the book. Please tell us about your book so that and how we can get it before we move. Okay. Mm, mm. Mm. Okay. All right. Bold women, you heard that. You can find her on Instagram at Feiji the Lighthouse. Feiji the Lighthouse as in FEJI the Lighthouse. Okay. Or you can search for Mrs. Sparkles. That's MRS, right? Or Z. Okay. MRZ,
That's it.
then Sparkles. MRZ Sparkles. Okay, so find, follow, and get that guide. I'm not even joking when I say you should get it because it will truly help you a whole lot. And follow her because her
Yeah.
content on marriage and all of that is something that you don't want to miss. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. This has been awesome, and do have a lovely
Thank you,
time. Just going to
Victoria.
release
And
you.
you too.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you,
Okay,
everyone.
Bodwoman, this is all we are
Bye.
doing for today. It's been amazing having you on this conversation. This episode has been healing. This episode has been bold indeed, unfiltered. Now, if you have questions that we didn't ask because of time, if you have questions that we didn't answer, please go ahead and drop the questions in the comment section. Okay, just drop them there. I'll send them over to Feiji and she would answer them, or I would answer them. Okay. Remember, the Bold Woman Conversations or the Bold Woman is where we have bold conversations around visibility, audacity, boldness, purpose, assignments for women. My name is Victoria Buja, and I am that woman on a mission to raise bold, loud, and visible women. Okay, so follow me on Instagram. If I follow me on social media, Victoria. Just type Victoria Abuja and you would find me. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the things that I talk about when it comes to women showing up loudly, boldly, and visibly. I always say this: visibility is not pride, it is not arrogance. Visibility is obedience to the call of God on your life. Now, the call of God I'm talking about is not about being a pastor or standing in front of a congregation. No, it's about you showing up in the sectors, industries, niches, in the areas that God has given you utterance, in the area that God has given you skills, in the area that God has given you knowledge. Show up there. Show up there and deliver. Okay, visibility is not about chasing clouds. It's not about having viral content. It's not about having thousands of followers. It's about knowing what you've been called to do and showing up in that exact place for the people that you've been called to serve, and for the one, in honor of the one who has placed that call on your head. Okay, so go out there and be all that God that says you are. Whether you're married, whether you have children, it doesn't stop you. You've heard from Fejiro herself. It doesn't stop you. You just need to be aligned. Don't compare yourself to others. Allow God to lead you. Okay, and for those of us who are not married yet, please, when you are choosing a man, don't just choose fine, tall, dark, and handsome. No, choose a man that understands that you have a purpose outside of marriage and motherhood. And make sure that that man is ready to support you and ready to help you enter into your God given assignment. Not the one that will shrink you and hold you because of his insecurities or because of what he thinks about women and all of that. Okay, this is very key. This is very important. A bold woman is that woman who understands that there is a mandate on her head and she shows up, even though she doesn't get it, have it all figured out, even though her seasons are shaky, even though she doesn't have, but she shows up because she knows that the one who has put this thing on her head would definitely give her the strength to carry, and she will and show up, show up excellently and diligently. Okay, all right. So go ahead right now and make sure that you follow Feiji and you follow me. And of course, my book, The Bold Woman's Guide to Shifting from Self Doubt to Dominance. Shifting from doubt to dominance is out. Okay, just you can actually send me a message if you want the book directly from me, or you can just go to the link in my bio on Instagram and get the book for yourself. Okay, The Bold Woman's Guide for Shifting from Doubt to Dominance. That book will help you overcome chronic self-doubt so that you can enter into the realm that God has called you into. And if you need a private coaching program that will help you become bolder, okay, then reach out, because I have what I call the Bold Woman Forge. It is a 6-week program where you and I will sit down and forge you into the bold woman that God says you are. Forge you into that woman that shows up visibly, loudly, and boldly for assignment. You get clarity, you declutter your mind, you do away with all the things that have been holding you back. You get a blueprint, a strategy, an action plan, accountability, support that will help you launch into your season of boldness and loudness and visibility in your area of assignment. So reach out and, let's get started on that. Okay. Remember what I always say: be bold, be loud, be visible. All right. And I remain Victoria Hibuzo Obuja, and I am signing out. Do have a lovely, lovely, lovely time. If you're just coming in, by the way, please, the replay is going to be on the page here on the channel, and also we're going to have a replay on Spotify. So you can, in 24 hours or 48 hours from now, the replay should be available on YouTube and on Spotify. So go ahead and you can listen. And I look forward to seeing you the 15th of next month for another amazing episode. Is there a particular topic you want us to talk about on this show? Please do let me know, okay? What that topic is, what the conversation is. Do let me know. Is there a guest that you'd like us to bring here who's going to share her ideas, who's going to share her knowledge, her wisdom? Hey, tell me about it so that I will go and start dragging her, okay? Because a lot of pitching has to go on, okay? So meanwhile, stay prayerful, stay prayed up, okay? Stay in the Lord your God, okay? Because He is the one who empowers you to be bold, loud, and visible. I'm a Jesus baby, y'all know that. I don't joke with my Jesus. Okay, God bless you, stay bold. See you next time. Bye. Bye.